I'd like to call this meeting to order of the August 7th, 2017 meeting of the Mayor and City Council meeting. At this time, I will stand and will pledge of allegiance led by me and remain standing for invocation for Justin Cardell, worship leader at the Bethany Christian Church.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you for our time that we can gather together, Lord, and we thank you for another day you bless us with on earth, Father. God, I ask you to continue to bless the citizens of this great county, this great city, Lord. Continue to bless and watch over all the city workers we have here, Lord. Just be with this meeting, Lord, and let the will that you have for us be shown here, Father. And we thank you for that. And we thank you for your Son, most of all, Lord, his sacrifice on the cross, Lord, that we can live a life for you and to worship you, Father. And we thank you for that. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
At this time, we'll move into citizens' comments. Anybody who would like to address the council, please come to the podium, give your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Ann Lucier, owner of Nursing from the Heart, and I would like to thank the city of Carrollton, the Community Development Director, Erica Studdard, City Manager Tim Grizzard, and Mayor Hollingsworth for your support with helping us increase breastfeeding awareness, for proclaiming August Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and helping us improve local support and resources here in Georgia. Thank you, Mayor, for attending the Big Latch on Saturday. We had a great success. We had 23 breastfeeding moms attend. We had 20 moms that latched on, and that's part of a global effort that happens around the world. So we're very happy that the City of Carrollton participated in this global event, and we look forward to next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Ann. Anyone else?
My name is Jimmy Beard, and I serve as Fire Chief for the City of Carrollton. I want to take a moment tonight to thank our Mayor, all the council members, and our City Manager for your overwhelming support of our fire department. If you compare our staffing and equipment to other departments our size, the level of support that we receive from you is outstanding. Lately, there's been a lot of attention focused on additional safety equipment and benefits for our firefighters. A lot of those things mentioned are good ideas, and I would support them. But the way they were presented, it would appear to our citizens that our department is unsupported and has bad equipment, and that is absolutely not true. We're a very well-supported fire department with great equipment. Over the past few years, I've not asked for additional safety equipment and benefits because, if you'll remember, our nation faced one of the worst recessions that any of us have known during our lifetimes. All across the country, people losing jobs, being laid off, retirement systems unfunded, fire stations temporarily shut down or browned out across our nation. The City of Carrollton never had to resort to these drastic measures due to financial responsibility and proper management of our taxpayer dollars. Even throughout these tough years, our fire department experienced positive, steady growth and improvement, not only through the services we offer, but professional development of our firefighters. We were able to replace all of our frontline engines. We bought a new ladder truck. We added a new fire station, and we hired 12 additional firefighters. If you look at our record of performance over the years, we went from a very poorly rated ISO Class 6 department all the way down to a Class 3 department as long ago as 1995. In 2010, we were graded and earned an ISO class rating of 2. Just this past year, we earned the elite grading of ISO Class 1, which has been achieved by less than 1% of fire departments nationwide. This privately owned, unbiased company based out of New Jersey comes in and they do a complete evaluation of the fire department, the water Department and the 911 Center, and they grade over 50,000 departments nationwide. You don't accomplish those things by being unsupported, poorly equipped, or having a mismanaged fire department. I want the citizens of Carrollton to know that we have a great department, we have great leadership, and we have great equipment. It's time for us to move past all of this negativity and to focus on our core mission, which is to save lives, protect property, and to serve the citizens of Carrollton. And I thank you all greatly for your tremendous support.
Thank you, Jimmy. Anyone else? Seeing no one, we'll move ahead. Number 5, minutes. Everybody had a chance to read back over your minutes in your packets that were sent out? Anybody want to make a motion we adopt or change or?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 5-0. All opposed? Number 6, mayor and council announcement and comments.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, if I may. I have a list of thank yous here and a couple of announcements as well. I would like to recognize Ms. Annette Johnson, who is in the crowd today. Ms. Annette, if you could please raise your hand. Ms. Annette is the granddaughter of Dr. Samuel D. Thomas, who passed away many, many years ago, but Thomas Holmes is named in honor of her grandfather, and he did a lot of work in our community, and we certainly applaud you today. And I have in my hands a proclamation that I would like to hand you at the end of the meeting, but if you have to go, it's I can bring it down to you. It's a proclamation proclaiming July 17, 2017 as Dr. Samuel D. Thomas Day. So I applaud you and your grandfather, or your uncle, for his work in our community. And I'm so excited about what the future holds and the things that we're working on. So thank you. Thank you. It's a great day. I would like to thank Tim Grizzard and the city staff and everyone else involved in addressing the noise issue over in West Carrollton and our industrial park. I realize that is not solved yet, but to the people of the area, please know that it is being worked on around the clock. I would also like to reinstate my confidence in our police department and in our fire departments, and I would like to give them a thank you today, and along with other first responders in this city today, for moving so quickly and so swiftly, not only to address the needs of all of our citizens, but more specifically my mom and my dad, who were both admitted to Tanner this past a couple weeks ago, and my cousin Preston Thornton, who was in a very bad motorcycle wreck last week. So I ask you all to keep my family in your prayers, and thank you to all the first responders. I would like to thank the Hope Church, too, for doing a back-to-school outreach program over in Lakeview and Paradise for at-risk, underprivileged children. They invited me to be a part of that, and I was very, very honored to be there, and thank you for that. Also, to the Rouse Foundation and the Gina May Foundation, I'd like to thank them for their Youth Village Summit, which was held at the AMP, I think last Saturday, and they invited me there as well, and that was a wonderful program for all of our children in this community, but more specifically to the underprivileged and at-risk. They were able to get new shoes that day and backpacks and anything else that they needed for a successful school year. And Dr. Rouse is here today, and Dr. Rouse, if you could please stand, and anybody from Hope Church as well. Let's give them a hand. On yesterday, we celebrated my mother's birthday over at Legends West, and we threw a Fred O'Neill called it top shelf party for my mother, and it's only because of Peter and his staff that park is so outstanding and really so splendid. So not only for that, but for everything y'all do, y'all make the city look good, and I thank you for maintaining those amenities and those crown jewels that keep people coming to Carrollton. So thank you very, very much. I know it's hard work, but I applaud you all. And at this time, that concludes my announcements, but I would like to thank this council too for bringing council comments up to the pinnacle of our agenda so that we may address any issues while the crowds are here and so that we may look more transparent. So thank you, everybody.
Roy, I have one thing I'd like to say. Jimmy, the last 3 weeks I've been touring all the fire stations and meeting with all the guys, and you are an ISO and fire ready police. It's, I had to go back 2 or 3 times. We was having a meeting, got a call out. I look forward to spending a little bit more time with you, and I can't see anything really wrong with what we got going on with the fire department. Everything looked great to me. Look forward to spending some more time with you personally and your other 3 captains, excuse me. I met with 2 of them, but the 3rd one I don't think I got with yet. So looking forward to doing that also. Tim?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's several dates I want to give you all. On the 14th of August is the annual city-hosted chamber lunch. That will be at the Cultural Arts Center Theater lobby. Again, that's the 14th at 11:30 a.m. On the 28th, there's a special call meeting planned to set our millage rate unless you choose to do otherwise. That's the plan right now. And that is something that has to be advertised for 2 weeks. And it is, just know when that vote is called for, you have to vote it up or down on what is advertised. You don't have other options. You either vote to set the rate that was advertised or to not set the rate that was advertised. And we start the advertisement over. So I just want to explain that. And that'd be on the 28th at noon in the 2nd floor conference room. It should take about 10 minutes. I want to remind you that the first Monday of September is Labor Day, and that meeting was canceled and rescheduled for the 11th. And so also I'd like to state that we are out to bid on the new fire station. And I want to thank all of our city staff. I want to just give one little anecdotal situation. I got an email from a gentleman who works at Southwire who had a complaint about an alleyway up on the square, and I called several different departments, and I got an email back, and he said it was resolved within an hour. So thank you again, and that is, frankly, the usual response time for you guys. You are that good, and I appreciate that.
Item number 8, approval of agenda items for consideration.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda items for consideration for this August 7th, 2017 meeting.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion carries 5-0. Number 1, Assistant District Attorney funding. Tim?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As we discussed in our budget work sessions and approval meeting, we included $100,000 in our budget to fund an assistant district attorney for this area to be primarily used for gang and drug-related crimes. I had promised you that that would come back to you to approve specifically. District Attorney Pete Skandalakis is here to speak to this issue. Mr. Skandalakis, thank you for being here.
First, let me say thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council members, for letting me speak to you and address this council meeting. I also want to add that it would be remiss if I didn't tell you that it's been a pleasure and always been a pleasure to work with Chief Richards. I have the opportunity and the career here that I work with 26 different police agencies. This county, as you well know, is part of a 5-county circuit. The Coweta Judicial Circuit is comprised of 5 counties: Carroll, Coweta, Heard, Meriwether, and Troup. We're one of the largest circuits in the state of Georgia, and we have 26 different police agencies that file cases with us, and I can honestly sit here and tell you that the Carrollton Police Department is one of the best. I know that because we see all sorts of cases, and I can speak from experience on that. So I thank you very much for letting me be here today, and I also thank you for letting me address you on this funding for an assistant DA position. I also want to say that after the meeting, if anybody wants to know anything about Mr. Lane, I'll be glad to meet with you because he worked for me for a while. So I probably have things I can disclose to you that we can talk about a little bit later. And that way, if he gets too out of shape at a council meeting, you can say, I spoke to Pete and I know some things. He'll be quiet. But it's a pleasure being here, and I just want to go through a few things. This is a novel approach. I don't mind telling you. It's a novel approach because we have reached the point where we need assistance. And I know an argument that is always made is that it's the responsibility of the county to fund the DA's office. And that is a legitimate argument. But it's also a team operation, a team effort. And 26% of our caseload is manufactured or made by the city of Carrollton. It's usually the largest provider of caseload to the DA's office, comes from the city of Carrollton. And so that's why I've come to the cities to ask for help. Now, I started this in LaGrange, Georgia. And the reason I started this in LaGrange, Georgia is because we had a particular problem in LaGrange, Georgia with gang shootings. In 1 year, we had 26 separate incidents of gang violence. I met with Police Chief Dekmar, and we decided the best way to address this was to not only address it community-wise, that is, community meetings with the stakeholders who were there, but also to address it through a special prosecutor. The county couldn't afford a special prosecutor at that time, so we went to the city, and the city funded a special prosecutor for me who assists the city of LaGrange in all gang-related matters, all serious violent cases, and any other outreach programs that we have. 1 year we went from having, and I'll tell you the exact number, after we implemented this assistant DA, in 2016 we had 17 gang-related shootings. After we put this assistant DA full-time on, the next year we were down to 2 gang-related shootings. So we showed a dramatic response in how we went after these type of crimes, and it proved to be effective. So your question to me might be, why should the city be involved in this? And I just got a brief PowerPoint. This is the same budget I presented to the Carroll County Commissioner. So I haven't changed anything to make it look better or worse for the City Council. It's the same exact one. If you'll go to the next slide. Staffing comparisons. Now this is circuit-wide. This is the Coweta Judicial Circuit. The Augusta Judicial Circuit's a 3-county circuit, 360,000 people, 25 assistant DAs, 6 investigators, 12 support staff. You'll notice the Coweta Judicial Circuit has 347,000 people in the total circuit. 21 ADAs cover that. Now, this year, the Carroll County Commissioners gave me an extra assistant DA, so it's 22 this year. Chattahoochee Judicial Circuit is a 6-county judicial circuit, but you'll notice the population is only 271,000. That's 70,000 less than what we've got. 27 ADAs. The Alcovey Judicial Circuit, 191,000, is a 2-county circuit, 18 assistant DAs to cover 2 counties. Paulding is a single-county judicial circuit. He has 14 assistant DAs to cover 1 county, 146,000 people. Douglas County, right next door to Carroll County, is a 1-county circuit, 136,000 people, 17 assistant DAs to cover 1 county. Rome Floyd is a 1-county circuit, 12 assistant DAs to cover 1 county. Rockdale Judicial Circuit, a small circuit. When you ask why did I throw Rockdale in there, it's because it compares with similar statistics to Troup County. But Rockdale's a single-county circuit, 8 assistant DAs to handle Superior Court cases. Next slide, please. Now, if you go back one more slide. Now, if you go down to the staffing comparison, just county by county. Now I'm singling out county. I'm taking it out of the circuit, and I'm looking at it by county. Carroll County, 112,000 people. Right now, that number should be 6. Just 6 ADAs to cover Carroll County. Coweta only has 6 to cover Coweta County. Troup now has a 7th one with our gang prosecutor. Newton County, 1 county, 103,000 people, 9 ADAs. So even if the city of Carrollton were to assist me and give me an assistant DA, I'd still be short. Walton County, a single county, 9 assistant DAs to cover that county. Rome Floyd, 12 to cover a county smaller than Carroll County. Rockdale County, 88,000, 8 assistant DAs, still more than I've got. Next slide. And you also see where I lose my assistant DAs. I am well known across the state for training assistant DAs and then letting them go on to bigger and better things. Of course, Mr. Lane came and trained with us, and now he's in civil practice. He's making the big bucks. But most of my ADAs end up going to Fulton, DeKalb, Cobb County, or metro areas because they can make a lot more money than we pay here. Now, we're competitive the first year, $54,000, as you see. We're a little bit less, $53,000. The second year, where the attorneys with 3 years experience, we start falling a little bit behind, about $1,000. Then attorneys with 4 years experience, we fall $6,000 behind. Attorneys 5 years experience, we fall $10,000 behind. Attorneys 6 years experience, we fall $9,000 behind. This causes a tremendous turnover in the DA's office. Now, the question becomes, who do you want prosecuting your cases? Do you want an experienced DA, or do you want somebody that I'm training over and over again? And so we go through that training cycle. That's not to say that I don't have experienced DAs working for me. I'm very blessed. I have with me here Jeff Hunt. Jeff is the senior assistant DA in charge of the Carrollton office. Jeff's been with me 25 years. I have Ann Allen. Ann's the senior assistant DA. She's also based in the Carroll County office, both of them Carrollton residents. She's been with me 25 years. I'm very blessed that I have senior prosecutors in every one of the counties that have been with me for well over 20 years, which makes my job a lot easier. Had I not had those people, I don't know what I'd be doing. I can't say I'd have less hair than I have now because I have no hair, but I'd probably lose my hair at a faster rate. Next slide, please. This year, the past 3 years, we were asking Carroll County for, we stayed the same as the chief told you. Basically, we understood there was a recession. We tried to stay the same in our budget amount, and Carroll County was not able. Next slide, please. This year, Carroll County approved $1,113,423, which will give me an assistant DA plus a support staff member. The question, I guess, becomes is why am I asking for this position from the City of Carrollton? I believe this is a team approach. I believe City of Carrollton has a stake in what happens in the community. Carroll County can't do it alone. I want you to also take into account that all 5 counties contribute to my budget: Troup, Carroll, Coweta, Meriwether, and Heard. Heard and Meriwether are obviously smaller counties and poorer counties and cannot contribute as much as the 3 bigger counties. However, even with the contributions that the big counties make to make sure that I'm running an office capable of prosecuting as many cases as we can that deserve prosecution, I think it's important to note that we have what is called vertical prosecution. We don't prosecute every case that comes in the DA's office. If it's not prosecutable, we dismiss it or we defer prosecution if there's a better avenue. In other words, if someone comes in and they haven't committed a crime before and they've committed a low nonviolent crime, we may defer prosecution on that so they don't have a criminal record. If it's a bunch of young kids who've done something stupid, and yes, sometimes they do something stupid, as we all know, we may not prosecute that case. We may get restitution and defer that prosecution. But the cases that we do prosecute, we are stretched to the limit. And so the purpose of having an assistant DA funded by the city is to act not only as a prosecutor, but also a liaison with the police department that you have so well funded, and to work with those police officers and to have that person accessible and easily identifiable to the police department on major cases, serious violent cases, and particularly gang violence cases. I now have 2 gang prosecutors. One is based in Troup. One is based in Coweta. Both have proven to be quite successful, and that is the purpose that I'm here before you, to ask you that you fund that position, which would be a tremendous investment in Carroll County. One of the questions I'm always asked by Carroll County, Coweta County, Troup County is, Pete, if we fund these positions, are you going to put them in any other county? And the answer is no. I try to keep them in the county in which they are based. Does that always happen? I can't say it always happens, but it happens a majority of the time, 99.9%. The reason I can't say it always happens is sometimes I might need the expertise of a particular prosecutor to go to another county. It doesn't happen often, but I don't want to sit here and lie to y'all and tell you that it never happens, because from time to time it will happen. It's happened less frequently since I've got my numbers up to 20 prosecutors, 20 plus prosecutors, but it has happened on occasion. I'll be free to answer any questions here. I'm free to answer any questions, but I do want to say this. I thank you for just giving me the opportunity to address the council. I know y'all got a lot of things on your plate. I know that public safety is paramount in your thoughts and what you do. I know that. I work with these guys and gals. I know what you commit to them. We want to be able to assist you in that endeavor as well. And by having a designated prosecutor, this is one way to go. If y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Mr. Scandalakis.
Yes, sir.
I'm Councilman Gerald Byrd. How are you?
I'm fine, Councilman Byrd. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I wanted to ask you, what type of interaction and what type of involvement have you had with distressed communities and maybe any leaders from distressed communities, specifically communities within the Carrollton city limits?
What we do now is Chief Richards has put together a pastors organization that meets once a month, and I usually attend that meeting. If I'm in another county or I'm attending a different grand jury, I always have Jeff or Ann attend one of those meetings, because we want to reach out to the community. It doesn't do any good for us to deal with issues just in the courthouse. We want to deal with issues outside the courthouse. And I'll also mention that we've done a couple of other things. Brett Adams, who's an assistant DA and is based in Troup County, however, is also running a, I can't remember the exact name of it. It goes through the Attorney General's office, where we raise food for underprivileged organizations, and we'll raise food through, it's a food drive through the Attorney General's office, and we do that. We also do a backpack support that way through Brett Adams, and we've done that too. But we try to make sure that we can meet with community leaders. If someone has a concern, I have an open door policy, and they can come in and talk to me on those issues.
That's really good. I appreciate that information.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
Any other questions?
I have a question, Mr. Scanlon. I don't know what the proper term is here, so you'll have to help me out. I guess you call them pro bono lawyers. I mean, what's my proper term? Public defenders.
Yes, sir.
How many public defenders do we have in Carroll County?
You have, based in Carroll County, I believe you might have 5 public defenders, 5 or 6. I think maybe 5's a number. Mr. Lane may know better. Do y'all know how many? But you also have the public defenders also get a appellate attorney. We write our own appeals. Plus, the public defenders have what are called conflict attorneys. A conflict attorney, when you have one case, let's say you have one case where 2 people broke in to a house. That case may be assigned to public defenders. One public defender from Carroll County can take that case, but another public defender from Carroll County in the Carroll County Public Defender's Office can't have that case. So it's gone to a conflict defender. And you have a conflict defender who comes in, and that comes out of a state budget. One day I counted in court, there were my 5 lawyers, there were the Public Defender's Office, which was 5 or 6 at the time, there was another 14 conflict defenders, and then another 20 private lawyers who came in and were not public defenders, but they were privately retained. So you do have public defender's office, but you also have conflict defenders. I don't know if I made that clear.
Yeah, that's clear. I mean,
Okay.
I guess my point is, with this DA, assistant ADA is going to be targeting drug and gang violence?
and any serious violent cases.
Any
Not
serious-
targeting, but dealing with.
Dealing with them, it's going to be his main priority.
Yes.
Um,
And also working with the Carrollton Police Department.
Well, I was just wondering, how many people did you have? I would think that most of these people would get a public defender, not a private defender.
I would say roughly 60% of the caseload's public defenders.
I was just wondering if you had enough people to juggle back and forth for the ADA.
Oh yeah,
I
would.
I was looking for percentages of what you thought what was what. So.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any questions for me? Looks like you're off the hook.
I appreciate that. Listen, this is a piece of cake compared to what I normally deal with. I'm not. This is not. This is easy. I just appreciate being able to address this and to. I look forward to working with y'all, and I'll do whatever you guys need. If I have to come back, I'll come back. Y'all just let me know what you want and what you need.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any discussion from the council?
I do want to make this. I heard the statistics the district attorney made. First thing I want to say, I was a little surprised that Pete didn't say it was his best ever ADA he ever employed, because that's what he told me when I resigned. But no, everything Pete said is that he does a great job training young lawyers, and he trained me, and Ed Allen was my mentor and my boss, and Jeff Hunt. They did an outstanding job, and I just want to brag on them publicly to everybody. They did a great job. Hopefully my clients think y'all did a good job. But I do want to just say this real quick. The district attorney said that basically 26% of all the caseload comes from Carrollton. Am I saying that correctly? And I just want to be clear to the public, don't be alarmed by that number, because the city of Carrollton constitutes 23% of the county. And during the daytime population, we believe our daytime population is about 60,000. So really our crime rate is very low. I just didn't want anybody to get a misconception that we have some sort of a crime issue in Carrollton. I just wanted to point that out, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Amen.
So, if we got a 60,000 population inside the city limits during the daylight, 26% is not that bad. Anything you want to say, Gerald?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what's the university's deal at the bargaining table? Are they bringing anything to the table? Or can we encourage them to do so? If not,
At the request of Mr. Lane, I spoke with Dr. Marrero this morning, and then again with Jim Sutherland, and they indicated, and I don't want to put words in their mouth, but they indicated that they could not fund a part of an assistant district attorney. They did want to point out all that they did fund, which was their own police force. They paid about $19,000 toward our overtime last year. They gave statistics on several hundred citations they write. It turns out any citation that they write, the city collects that money because they don't have their own court. They've also, I believe, staffed part of our drug task force, if I got that right. So they wanted to stress how committed they were to public safety, and obviously they have their own police department too, which is, I believe, 33 officers, something in that range. So, and they were planning to pay, it said about $80,000 in overtime. They thought probably $20,000 of that would go toward Carrollton. So they did want to stress those numbers. The part that struck me, because as you know, I think money all the time, is that those citations would bring money into the city coffers. If you want to know how this would be funded, you may recall that our judge, Lee Smith, raised the rates on our fines last year, and it brought in another, and Jim, stop me if I'm saying wrong, about $350,000 for the year. And some of that money had to go toward court clerks because our city court has to pick up more workload due to some legal changes. But that's where this $100,000 would come from, is those fines.
okay. Now, were you sated, and do you concur with what the university presented to you?
Honestly, and Dr. Marrero's a good friend of mine, but they have a lot more money than we have, so I would always like to see them pay anything they could pay. I do not know the law concerning university money, whether they can pay for an ADA or not. I'm certainly not disputing anything that he said, so don't misunderstand my words at all. It's just, I don't know what he can fund and what he can't. I do support this position. I believe that if we want to fight crime, we get out in front of that. But I defer to you gentlemen on whether you want to fund this.
And this is something that we'll have to renew annually, right?
You would renew it as a part of the budget. You wouldn't have this level of debate unless you chose to have that. There are other positions that we fund as a part of our budget, and as you approve that budget every year, you are approving that position. For instance, Jeff May works with the Marshal Service for our fugitive recovery, and you fund that every year. So it's just similar to that.
Okay. Well, this fiscal year, I will vote in favor of this, but I would like to encourage you as our city manager, and of course, I would, of course, need the support of the council as well to tap into some funding sources from the university as well to assist us in this endeavor.
Let's see here. We funded a new court clerk in this year's budget, right? And what else did we do with Lee Smith in this year's budget?
And Jim, you're going to help me with these numbers. I recall we had to give him some more overtime. I shouldn't say overtime money, but more funding for his salary. Was that $40,000? Does that sound right? Okay.
And the court clerk that he requested was? So roughly benefits and taxes and everything, about $85,000, $90,000 extra money going out already in this year's budget.
You had enough money in the $350,000 to cover the two officers, the clerk, and this ADA.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion. We just table this for right now until we get from my understanding, we get a total commitment of what the county is planning on if they're going to help contributing towards this. And then I'd like to reach out to the university again, stress to them the importance of this. Maybe we have a little bit more leverage with them just to see what they can do. So I make a motion that we just table this. I'm not against it, but at this time, I just would like to see what other avenues we have to fund it. I'm not going to table it till next month. We just table, and maybe even till our next time we do our budget. But I'd like to not put a time down.
You're saying till next year?
Well, to be honest with you, I think we need to have a work session where we can actually sit down and bash this out pretty hard. I don't know if it'll be next quarter.
Then I'll make a motion that we table it until December 2017.
You're saying debate before December 2017, then vote on it
Just table it and put it back on the agenda.
December 2017. So we're talking 3-4 months. Like, why do we need such a long amount of time to vet over?
We only have a
We
work
very
session.
well could right now.
Well, we could have a work session every quarter, it looks like right now, John.
And the reasoning behind that would be?
It's what we set up at first of the year.
I'm sorry?
It's what we set up first of the year.
I'm saying the reasoning behind waiting 4 or 5 more months for this would be what?
Well, we got a lot of capital outlays coming out right now. We got a fire station bill. We got a road to pave down at Alabama Street and Presbyterian Avenue, Maple Street. A lot of money going out the door.
Yes. Do you mind if I ask the police chief his opinion on this matter coming from a department head? May I? What are your recommendations? Am I putting you on the spot? Oh. Do you mind coming to the stand if you don't mind? Thank you. I just want to make sense of all this and make sure we're.
Actually, in Robert,
Yeah.
for the order, we either got to have a second to the motion, or it's going to
Well,
die.
you won't be getting one out of me, so you can just keep moving on.
Well, I'll give a second there.
Go for it.
I did.
Thank you.
So I have a first and a second. Now we can go into discussion if you want to, or we're going to vote on it.
I'd like to hear from Chief Richards, please. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Rory.
Last year at our gang summit that we hosted here, Pete was our guest speaker. He approached Tim and I about this idea. I'd already talked to Lou Dekmar, how successful it went there. As you saw, they went from 17 gang shootings to 2. We had another shooting today at 3 o'clock. Don't know if it's gang-related yet, but he was life-flighted to Atlanta. College is about to open back up, so it's going to continue to have these gang crimes. Tyler Ford was murdered October, just a few months ago, last year. It's gang-related, and they were out of Fulton County. So I would not have asked Pete to come here and present this if I wasn't for this. Buster Meadows, the chief of Noonan, approached me at the chief's conference 2 weeks ago and said their city manager approached him and said, we want to do the same thing. The one that Mike Yeager has, Sheriff Yeager, Coweta County, Herb Cranford, is phenomenal. Our guys go and train with them. Herb goes out on their search warrants with them. Just last month, we sent one of our officers undercover into a nightclub that they knew was full of gang members. He's in there taking videos of pounds of dope, cocaine, guns. They're out in the woods. He's texting them pictures. Herb Cranford, their ADA, is with them, is on a computer typing up a search warrant. Since the judge electronically gets it signed, they go and lock up 28 gang members and get the guns, cocaine, and marijuana. That's what I've asked Pete for here. So I'm all 100% for it.
Did you say 100% for it?
I mean, absolutely. It's. Go back 3 years ago, the shooting that started our gang task force in the QT parking lot on a Saturday night. There's a guy pumping gas. There's a lady there. No child's in her car seat, but there's 19 rounds fired across that parking lot. We have it on video. An AR-15, a 9mm, a .40 caliber. They're out of Gwinnett County, but they were here for a party at the VFW for homecoming. Guy shot in the leg pumping gas, innocent bystander. Bullet goes to a car seat, no baby in it. Fortunately, we make an arrest, and that's when we brought in the U.S. Marshals and the FBI, and they said, Georgia's got some of the toughest gang laws in the nation. It's just officers don't know how to enforce them, and DAs don't know how to prosecute them. And so that's when Pete, again, has 2 gang investigators in Troop and Coweta, and we're asking for one here that knows the gang laws, because it's very complicated to show that nexus to the judge or the jury. So, again, that started 3 years ago. You get the texts and updates. You get the weekend reports. The shift
Every other
report.
day it seems.
I mean, it's
yeah.
It's not getting any better, and I can't blame Pete. I mean, like I said, he's funded totally by the county, and I don't know the number, 26 or 27% of cases, but I know our detectives do a heck of a job. We've got 2 right now in Chicago that are 2 gang investigators. They know the laws, and they're right there right now taking courses, and they said if we pass, they'll have their certification for national gang investigators. So we've been doing our part over 3 years to get our guys trained. We brought the FBI and the U.S. Marshals in to train, and APD to train our police officers on what to look for. We train, I think we've showed you our gang presentation. We train the schools. Coach George can tell you that we train the bus drivers. We train the counselors what to look for, because there's gangs in the schools, okay? We've got videos of gang members being beat in our city schools. So we have a lot of intel. We just need some help in having one ADA that we can go to and prosecute these gang members.
So
The benefit of this is, let's say that you're charged, and Pete, if I'm wrong, you tell me, but you get charged with battery because you're in a gang dispute. It's a misdemeanor, but we can prove that you're a gang member and this was gang related. You're charged with a violation of the Georgia Gang Act. You get 5 to 10 years probation. You don't go to prison. You get probation, but part of that probation is you can't be affiliated with any kind of gangs. You can't do a number of things, and all we do is log into your Facebook page and see where you're doing these things, and we go to that ADA. This is what happens in Coweta, and
He picks up a warrant for violation of probation, and you go. You're not back out in our community doing this and recruiting our kids. Number 2 places to recruit gang members are schools and jail.
So this person would specifically be for the gang activity.
Gangs, drugs, violent crimes, they all go together.
Which, according to all the text messages that we get every day and the updates that even today, as you said, just a couple hours ago, a shooting over on
3 o'clock
4th
today in
Street.
the Head Start. Luckily, the kid
Today.
just left. It's 3:15, but teachers were in the parking lot where he shoots from his car, shoots the guy in the leg. He's life-flighted, shattered his ankle. He's life-flighted to Grady or Atlanta Medical Center. Right.
Those kids, there's infants over there as well, right?
Well, they were,
at that school.
Luckily, they were gone when this happened, just by a few minutes. This was between 3 and 3:15.
Which is why I'm for it. So thank you.
You have a question? Tim, where are we with the county? Have they agreed to contribute 50%? I thought that was the whole understanding.
I asked Marty, he said he would get back with me, but in the interim, we found out that they fund 70% of the office and that they had actually funded another ADA on their own this year. So although, and again, this is no criticism of Marty at all, please don't misunderstand my statement. I did ask him, but again, in the interim, we found that they are funding 70% of Pete's office plus an additional ADA, so he would pick up a county ADA and a city ADA if you chose to approve this.
Yeah, but so we can still wait on Marty. I mean, he didn't say no. He didn't say the county is not going to contribute.
That is true.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you're just waiting.
But was he saying we're doing enough already, basically, right?
Well, he did not say that. I don't know that he had that data. And again, I can't speak for him. I just,
Okay, now we have a motion on the table. First and a second for a table. So we need to vote on the table motion.
And could you reinstate that motion with the timeline included, please?
That we table this, the decision to hire an ADA until December 2017. Because I think we'll have a work session in the fall. It's already August.
So we will call the question and we will vote on the motion. All in favor of tabling the motion until December, please raise your hand. All in favor of opposed to the motion of table, please raise your hand.
What was that word you used? All in favor of what? Oh, opposed.
You're opposed. Opposed carries, motion dies.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the funding for the ADA.
I second that motion.
We have a new motion on the floor and a second. Is there any discussion?
I don't know. I just think that we should not vote to approve this and just wait at least 30 days. Let's just see what
That's
the
why
county.
you're about to vote, so, yeah.
Let's just see what the county will do, because this is a huge expense. It'll keep going up every year. And I just want to see what the county, I'm not against it. I just want to see what the county will do. And I just say we hold off find out what the county is going to do, and if the county comes back and says, no, we're not going to pay, then I'll be happy to vote for it. I just want you to understand you're taking on a liability here that the city's going to be responsible for this ADA, going to be responsible for the pay increase, the health insurance, the whole shebang. And I just don't see what the rush is. We can wait 30 days at least. So I'm going to ask you to oppose this motion, and maybe we can make another motion to table it for 30 days, just to find out.
I second Rory's motion.
Sorry, been seconded.
Well, I'm ready to move on. We got children here in the back.
All in favor of funding
Thank you.
the motion that was motioned by Mr. Rojic and seconded by Mr. Was it Jim seconded?
Bird.
Gerald Bird. Seconded by Mr. Bird. Please raise your hand. All opposed. Motion carries. Pete, I guess you got what you want.
Let's remain professional.
Peter, certificates of recognition.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This evening, we'd like to recognize our state champions in gymnastics, as well as our state champions in the sport of track and field from this past year. All of these athletes have worked extremely hard in their respective sports. A lot of time and dedication goes into being a state champion, not only of the athletes being recognized tonight, but also for the parents who work just as hard getting their child to practice, traveling to meets, and helping their child manage their time wisely with school. Your children are successful because of the commitment you as parents have put forth for your child. In our Carrollton community, we have a long history of excellence in track and field and gymnastics. And it is because of dedicated coaches who spend a lot of time with these children, working nights and weekends so that we can be successful as a department. Our track and field coach, Ora Chisholm, and our gymnastics coach, Allie Trent, have done so much with these young athletes. Your time and commitment are one of the core reasons these athletes have been so successful. Thank you to everyone for making such a positive impact on our town. You make our community a great place to live. As we call your name tonight, please come to the front and be recognized this evening. And please stay up here, and we will take pictures with the mayor and council after all have been recognized. If I can have our head coach, Miss Ora Chisholm, please come forward. If I can have you guys come down here, please.
You too? Okay. I ended up having two state track winners championship. I had Noah Clarkfelter, 3200 for 11-12 boys. Okay, and we have Diana Cooper, state champion discus with 13-14 girls.
here. All right. And, for our gymnast, our first gymnast is Anna Chastain. She placed first on balance beam. So she was our balance beam state champ. You can come on up here, Anna. Our next athlete, Morgan Harper. She placed first on vault and all around. Come on up here, Morgan. Our next athlete, Riley Rutherford, she placed first on balance beam. Our next athlete is Mia Hydorn, first place on floor. Our next athlete is Caden Newman, first place on bars. And some of our girls didn't make it tonight, but I'm just going to go ahead and say their name. Bella King placed first on vault. And then our next athlete, Braylon Anderson, first place on balance beam and all around. Our next athlete, Reagan Spivey, first place on vault. Maya Underwood, who is unable to make it tonight, and Haven Todd. She placed first on floor and all around. And our last athlete is Gabby Willingham. She placed first on balance beam, floor, exercise, and all around. Gabby was a USAG level 8 this year, which is pretty high up there, one of the highest levels we had in our program. And I'm just going to brag on her for a little bit. Gabby's been in and around our programs in the West Georgia area since she was really young. So some of these girls, it was their first year competing, maybe the second year, but Gabby has been in it to win it for quite a while. And she was the one of the top 8 level 8s in the state of Georgia, and she made the state team with these state scores, qualified under regionals. So she was one of 8 top level 8s in the entire state. So that was out of about 200 kids. Nice job, ladies. And the next is our level 3 state team. So we actually had a state team championship this year, which was pretty cool. Those state members, Kenley Elderdice, Cameron Cabasi, JC Evans, Carson Chadwick, Riley Rutherford, Caden Newman, Mia Hydorn, Addie Marshall, Bella King, Savannah Steffi, and Sophia Jenkins. Great job, ladies.
Parents, if y'all like to come up here and take some photos, please feel free to.
Give everybody a little time to exit the building if they want to.
Good to see y'all. Hey, Diane, Donna, all of y'all. Jenna. Bye. See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, item number 3, resolution 09217, Fire Station 22. Mr. Grizzard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you know, at our called budget work session we held on the third floor several weeks ago, we discussed this item at length. We discussed whether to move Station 22 from its current location where it was damaged by the tornado to the corner of Lovern and Brumbelow at the back entrance to the university. The consensus I got there from the 3 that were there was that that was the desire of the council. And then talking to the rest of y'all as this has gone along, that seemed to be the desire of the council. Again, we talked with Dr. Marrero. The property belongs to the University Foundation. We had it appraised. It appraised at $190,000. That was done by Bass and Associates. The foundation agreed to sell us the property for $100,000. So we are actually out to bid on this fire station. We also, if you so choose to purchase this and allow us to build it there, we also could sell the current property. I don't have a hard appraisal on it. I have an estimate from the appraisal company, and they estimated the value at $40,000. The new lot is 0.87 acres. The old lot was about 0.6 acres. The new lot would require less grading, so there was some savings there. But again, we think it's a better location. We all tend to think that it sends a public safety statement toward the university and the parents of children who are young adults who are going to go to the university. And so it's also a better property as far as ingress and egress for fire engines. So we recommend that you proceed with authorizing me to make this purchase. And that would be Resolution 09217. Thank you.
Have a motion?
Was there any discussion at all by us?
We'll get a motion in a second, then we'll
Make a
go
motion. I make a motion to approve resolution 09-2017 as set forth.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Have a motion and a second, now we'll go into discussion.
Yes, this may be a bit too premature, but I think at that work session, I stated that, and I don't want to come across angry or upset or anything, because I'm certainly glad of this, and I think it's a wonderful project. But I talked about the interactivity of the firehouse and making it sort of user-friendly, and then also using that firehouse as a catalyst to teach people about safety during storms, maybe with interactive displays. I just think it would be really neat to create more of a citizens-focused firehouse where parents could come as well of those university students, and that could kind of serve as a hub for safety, and they could learn, as I said, all kinds of things about, shelter in the time of a storm, etc. And maybe kids could come in and try on a uniform of one of the firefighters. So I really think it would be neat to make it more interactive. And secondly, in terms of the design of it and aesthetically speaking, I think it would be neat to tie it into the Greek revival feel of the Greek village, or either to the Mill Village, which it's a part of as well. It will sit between the Greek village and the Mill District. So it'd be neat to kind of tie some of those design aspects into the finished product. I think we'll have something that we could be proud of.
Okay. I do know or remember you wanting it to be available for that, and the design that we have would not preclude that at all. You could certainly do that. Several of you mentioned because it's on the green belt, having restroom facilities there. That would be a separate building and something that would be built again separately. And we could do that right away. It doesn't mean that has to be put off. What we don't want is the fact that this station is out of service. We don't want that to impact our ISO rating. So we're trying to move quickly. You know, we've had some very successful meetings with you, Mayor Pro Tem Byrd, up on the second floor. We'd be glad to sit down with you with the plans and let you look at those. This looks primarily like, as currently designed, like the station on Northside Drive. It's very attractive. Now, there were some details in that one that were expensive that didn't add a lot to the beauty, and so it was changed in a manner to make it less expensive to build, but just as attractive. But we would love for you to see that, and if you had suggestions, we would love to, to get your input on that.
Okay, thank you.
And that goes for the rest of the council also.
I was wondering if we were being excluded.
Just to be clear, this is the normal routine for all those capital bids you see, and you'll see that in these reports. I mean, there are tons of capital projects that are out there. You see it when they are awarded. And so, again, this was one that in other words, you have to vote. This will be out to bid. You will have to vote to award that fire station when the construction bids are opened. And you should see that at the September meeting. And again, we were kind of in a hurry. There's no kind of about it. We were in a hurry because of the ISO rating and because those firemen are currently staffed at this location, and we need to get moving and get something built from a safety standpoint. And again, if you object to that general look of that Northside Drive station, we can certainly change that. But that's what we were trying to mirror. We did not want to put it back in the style of the station that it was. That's not very attractive. And the one on Central Church Road is our Central School Road is not very attractive. It's very similar. So we're trying to go to the more modern style.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All in favor of buying the property on Lovern Road, please raise your hand. All opposed?
Due to a conflict of interest, I'm a full-time employee at the University of West Georgia. I'm recusing myself from the vote.
So noted. Motion carries 4-1 recusal. Libby. At this time, concludes our business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.